Realizations to stop me comparing myself physically to other people. I've been putting off filming this video for so long because it's so deeply personal and vulnerable, but if I can even help one person break out of the cycle, I will be so happy. So I hope this helps. This is such an important topic. Let's start with the backstory of where it all began for me. 3 years ago, I was in the lowest point of my life and I really had to start my healing journey. But you see, I thought I started my healing journey way before that because I was going to the gym consistently, I was working on my discipline, but really all I was doing was self-improvement habits, not self-love. It was that toxic productivity without actually letting my soul heal and giving myself the emotional nurturing that I need. So like I said, 3 years ago when I was in the lowest point in my life, this particular topic was the biggest point of pain, despair and misery for me. It would keep me at such low places. Since I was committed to working through this particular problem, it has been the biggest powerful lesson for me. Honestly, it has taught me how to have grace with myself, how to love myself, and how to actually treat myself as if I was someone that I loved. Of course, I will always still work through it as healing is a journey. This video isn't specifically for women, it's for men and women. But of course, as a woman, I'm going to give my perspective. I'm sure this can be applied to men too with a few tweaks. If you're a guy that's watching, I really hope this helps you too. Whenever I was seeing a girl who was conventionally more attractive than me, so say she had a better body, better hair, better skin, I would genuinely think that in some way, shape or form, she was just better than me. Like I was here and she was there and that's just that. I knew something had to change because I would always think my man is going to cheat on me with someone like her. And I truly believed that there was no way that I would ever be enough compared to this woman. When women like this walk around, what chance do I have to have a stable relationship, to even be loved, to be good enough? And that's what I knew. My mindset was so effed up and it had to change. So part of my healing journey, I went to therapy and my therapist was amazing. Like she's such a cutie and she would basically push me to ask myself where these thoughts come from. So I want you guys to do the same. Asking yourself where does this come from is step one, and it is such an important step. Eventually I came to the understanding that this voice in my head was never even mine. It was literally a male's voice living in my head rent-free. And for me, it stemmed from having a partner who'd always check out the girls when we were together. When I wasn't there, he'd check out the girls and even like watch porn. And that all just made me think the reason I couldn't get this person's love and attention and commitment was because I wasn't good enough. Now I'm 24 years old and now I honestly feel bad for men like that because those are men that have no control over their own lust. They have no discipline. And as sad as this is, that lust will always control them and they'll never be satiated until they try to actually deal with that issue that they're dealing with themselves. And I realized it was never about me, it was about them. It was a problem they had. Because when I'm dating a guy, there could be a guy that's taller than him, have a conventional, better body than him, but that would never make me want to check him out because he's not my person and I am just committed to my person. And I realized it's a personality thing, it's a mindset. Some people are like this and some people aren't. It's to do with the person that's lustful. It's not to do with me and my looks and my worth at all. Another reason could be that you saw women from a certain body type, certain look, get treated better by men. And yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that happens because pretty privilege is such a thing, but good men and men that you respect and you wanna be with, they don't do that because we don't do that as women. I have never looked at a guy and thought, he's good looking, I'm gonna be extra nice to him, or I'm gonna hold the door open for him, or I'm gonna do this, because that is so superficial and shallow. It's fake kindness, it's fake chivalry if you're only nice to me because you want something from me and you think I'm pretty. Guys that treat girls differently because of pretty privilege are just fake nice guys. And you don't want to end up with someone who's a fake nice guy. You want to be with someone who's genuine, who's actually nice. Like I want a guy who is nice to the old woman and helps her with the groceries. And he also helps the pregnant mum with her groceries, not trying to get something out of them. He helps them because he genuinely wants to help them, not because they're pretty and because he's playing into pretty privilege. That realization that I don't actually want a guy that does the most for a pretty girl freed me from wanting to be that pretty girl. But it could even start from a family member speaking badly about their body and you think, oh my gosh, I've got that too, so I should be insecure about that too. It could be from a joke that someone said to you at school when you were a kid. And I'm not even gonna mention social media because that is the most obvious way that insecurities, beauty standards are made. But these are some things I want you to actually start asking yourself, because getting to know yourself, your unique self, and why you think the certain way is going to free you. Most of the times, they're not even your own thoughts. They're thoughts that have been programmed into you from society. Be so invested and prioritizing yourself that you care so much to investigate and to intentionally find out where your pain comes from, where your hurt comes from, where your trauma comes from, why you act a certain way. And doing this first question of where does it come from is exactly that, and it's so key in your healing journey. Okay, so now we've thought about where these thoughts stem from and your why. Let's go into some realizations that helped me free myself. You need to believe you're not in competition with other women or other men. If you're a guy watching, you have to think about life like you are on a path here. Your goal is being the best version of yourself and respecting and honoring yourself and creating the life that you want. That is your goal. Someone else's goal is exactly that, but it looks so different to them. So you're not even in the same life path. No one can ever take anything away from you because you're not even in the same game. You're in a totally different arena, totally different obstacles, totally different treasures at the end. You're not even playing the same game with them. You've got to really understand that no one can take away what's meant for you. And when you feel yourself in competition with someone else, just ask yourself, like, do I actually want to play this game, or do I want to go back to my game? Where a girl that's prettier or a guy that's more handsome is never going to be a threat to you because they're not even in your game. They don't play a role in you getting your dreams, getting your dream job, getting your dream house, making the money you want to make, finding the love of your life, in being kind to your family. Like, they have no role to play in any of the things that you value. Like I said, I think one of the common things is that we think girls that are prettier than you, or men that are more handsome, can stop you from finding the love of your life because they're going to take your partner away. But if you trust that your partner is so specially, uniquely designed for you, and they're actually a loyal, disciplined person who actually likes you, who genuinely likes you, they're not going to get swayed by some other person when you're in a relationship with them. You just kind of release that control. You just don't play that game anymore. You're not even involved in it. You're just in your own energy, knowing that your life is protected by God, and what is meant for you is always going to be for you. Like, your life is full, it's abundant, it's beautiful, it's your story. And all these things that we're comparing ourselves to, it's only because we see it as a competition and a threat. But once we just stop and we just put it to the side, you just get so much more peace and focus in your own life. Since this video is about not comparing yourself physically, I'm not going to go into like a material comparison or someone's life path comparison, etc. Another thing is that when you're stuck in this mindset of this comparison rat race, you're so harsh on yourself, you actually don't see your own beauty. Like, you can actually get used to seeing yourself and like almost forgetting how special and unique you are. Another thing is this idea that there's only one type of beauty standard. We need to wrap it up right now. The big lie about beauty standards is that we are convinced that there's one beauty standard and that is all. I've got two sisters who are just undeniably beautiful. Like, they are drop dead gorgeous, and they look so different to each other. They look so different to me. We all look so different. Like, we've got different body types, different heights, different hair, different faces, etc. And I just realized how, like, I could never compare them to each other. It would baffle me if they ever felt bad about themselves, because I think they're so beautiful. And when I spoke about this topic, they said the same about me. And I realized there's no one specific body type or beauty standard, and appreciating to see beauty in everyone else can actually help you appreciate the beauty within yourself. Like, stop looking at what is society's idea of the top beauty standard as the beauty standard. Like, the way we're so conditioned to think there's only one type of beauty standard, and our brains just passively take that in and absorb that information. Like, challenge yourself to see beauty in people that don't look like that beauty standard, because I promise you, they are so beautiful. And I think it's just a mindset trap we fall into, because it's like that deep conditioning. Because once you start seeing it in them, you will start seeing it yourself. This is a bit of a personal thought, but I'm just going to share it because I think it will help someone. I've seen couples where the guy loves a girl and she's not conventionally attractive. Now I'm 24, I would never look at a couple and even think this or this, because I've learned to see beauty in all types of people. But when I was 21, that was such a shock to me. I was like, wow, like, for me, I had to earn my love. I'm so confused that, like, you can just look like that and the guy likes you. Until I realized the thing about true love and attraction is that when you truly love someone, your attraction for them grows by tenfold. I'm so grateful that now I'm 24, I have that deep understanding and belief that if a guy checks out another girl or is behaving weird, it's never about, am I good enough? It's just, one, has he even got control of himself, his own lustful desires and his own thoughts? And two, does he actually love me for who I am inside? Because you can love the idea of someone, you can love how they look, but you may not love the true essence and the soul of them. Like, as a woman, you don't need to have the biggest butt to find a good guy that genuinely loves you. And as a guy, you don't need to be the tallest guy or like the most ripped man alive to find a woman that genuinely loves you. Like, the minute love is involved and it's a genuine factor, attraction grows tenfold. And in a true healthy relationship, they're not going to look at other people. And like I said, that's just a mindset thing. It's not to do with how you look. I just really want to drill that home, because when you've been in a toxic relationship, or when you've been with a guy who checks out other girls, or with a girl who is not loyal to you, you can genuinely think that it's all about the way you look. And I just want to tell you that it isn't. The thing is that we should remember that you're more than your body. And I know that's like something you hear a lot, but I mean it. Like, you're more than your body. You're more than how kind you are. You're more than how intelligent you are. You're more than how funny you are. You're more than everything, because it's not about being the prettiest girl or the smartest girl or the richest girl. It's about the unique combination that makes you, you. that is a special thing. That is a thing that is irreplaceable and unique. And I think once you stop idolizing one part of you, whether it is your looks, whether it is your brains, whether it is your money, you can actually start living a balanced and healthy life. Next point is me. I'm 24, and of course one day I want to have kids, and I really don't want to pass on any insecurities that I have about myself to my kids. That's why it became such an important thing for me to work through these insecurities and this mindset, because I don't want to pass that on to my kids. Like, I would feel so bad if I was saying something bad about myself and my kid, who obviously I passed down my genetics to, has that same thing, and they're looking at themselves like, oh, mummy's insecure about this, so I should be insecure about this. As a mother, you want to pass down self-confidence, self-love, self-acceptance to your kids. And that's why I'm making this video, because it's actually more than about you. It's actually about breaking generational curses, because we pass on so much more to our kids than we realize in terms of insecurities, in terms of mindsets. My kids see me loving myself and accepting myself, they too will learn to love themselves and accept themselves. I think that is a big motivation for me and why I wanted to work on this topic. I'm such a believer in relationships where you have God and you both believe in God, and God is in the middle of it all. When you're a spiritual person, you're just not in that worldly chase after certain women, chase after certain men. You're actually just loving the person for them, their soul. Yeah, I'm just grateful that, like, now I'm 24, I know what I want. I'm grateful that God exists. I'm grateful that my mindset in love and relationships has really evolved. Like I actually want something real and genuine from the heart. I just thought I'd put that point in for anyone who had to hear it. Because sometimes you can feel like you're the only one that thinks like that, but I promise you, that's not true. There are guys that think like that, there are women that think like that. It's true. Anyway, I hope this video helps you in your healing journey. I hope that you actually reflect on what I've said, and I wish you the best. Please leave me any questions in the comments below. Share your thoughts on how you yourself broke out of this mindset, because I'm sure it will help a lot of people, because this is definitely a universal issue. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope to create more videos like this. Just let me know what you guys think and what type of videos you'd like to see more of. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye.